Hey guys, so welcome back. Um, I gotta be honest, I feel a little uncomfortable today vlogging. Um, I'm uncomfortable with the vlog because I wasn't sure if this was something that I felt I wanted to address. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt as though it's something that happened in my journey that affected me. And I do feel like other women can possibly learn from it. Um, so I get a phone call from my girlfriend who lives in London. And she says to me that the guy that I was dating in London, or that he was married. When I got the news, like when she said what she said, it didn't really hit me. It didn't really hit me. It was just okay, like, okay. And my initial reaction, honestly, I was laughing. I was laughing. And the more I look back at it, I was laughing because that's all I knew how to do to mask how hurt I really was. Um, I was hurt. That information was hurtful. I think it was hurtful not for what it was, but from who it came from. I feel like I feel like that information should have come from him if it was going to occur. I did feel though I did feel as though we had created lines of communication with one another that we can be honest with one another. I did think so. To receive that news all the way from London and not be from him was hurtful to me. She also said that she had a picture of him and his new wife. And she asked me if I wanted to see it. My initial reaction was like, nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to, I don't want to see that. That's crazy. But there was that little piece inside of me, that little piece of woman inside of me that was like, I want to see if he's happy. I want to see if he's happy. So I told her, fuck it, send it. She sent me the picture, and I was just like, it all makes sense. This journey has taught me so much. It's taught me so much. I feel like whether or not me and this guy worked out, I learned something. Because I realized that when I'm hurt, I try to mask that and I don't wear that. And I just put this filter on to make it seem like I'm really not hurt or I'm really not going through it, because I just feel like as a strong woman, that's what you're supposed to do. This situation hurt me. that situation hurt me. I was very much affected by it. I don't think that I realized how much it affected me until I started talking about it. Like, when I received the information, it was a little bit of a, okay, I'm shocked. But once I started talking about it, and I'm processing things and I'm trying to figure my thoughts out, I'm like, I'm really bothered by this. I'm really bothered by this. You guys saw the excitement in my first diary. And it was this emotion that overcome me that I've obviously never had before. But it was something I was like, screw it. I'm going to live a little, you know? And I think that me being hurt is okay. I am so entitled to my feelings. I needed to identify with that. The whole time, or prior to me identifying with it, I did not want to speak to this man. I did not want to speak to this man ever again. I didn't. But once I realized I was hurt, I was like, no. I want to tell this man how he hurt me and how I was affected by this and how I didn't deserve this. I was going to do it respectfully because I wanted to be heard and I wanted to be received. I didn't want to be combative, but I wanted him to hear. I thought I owed it to myself, or I felt I owed it to myself, to be honest with myself and him. I had so many questions. I cried. I was upset. I laughed. It's crazy because even though I was so mad, even though I was so hurt, I still wanted to know if he was happy. Sorry guys, I had to actually break this video up in two pieces because when I was recording last night, I just got really emotional and I didn't want to put that on camera. So I kind of, and I was getting anxiety and stuff, so I kind of just wanted to give myself a minute. Give myself a minute. I think that it was really good for me to reach out and call because I felt as though I got a lot of clarity on the situation. I believe that my message was conveyed. I think that I conveyed how I felt and what my feelings are, and I think that that's something that he took away from the conversation, which is what I wanted. But I did also learn something too, that when I'm hurt, I put on a good front. And me deciding to even let him go, it definitely affected me. You guys watch the entry with my mom, and when we spoke about it, I kind of got emotional because the feelings that I had are very real. And I say had as if the feelings are past tense, but I still very much have feelings for this man. And to find out that he had just gotten into a situation and I didn't hear it from him. And it was a level of embarrassment. It was definitely a level of embarrassment. It's one thing to get the news from the direct source and you deal with it that way. But to have people exposed to information that could potentially melt your heart. And you have to kind of put this facade on like, okay, you're not hurt, T, you're not hurt, T, you're not hurt. And then finally, when I get alone by myself, I'm like, damn! You know, I think it was more or less like, what did I do to get hurt? I sent the text message in December and kind of in my mind closed the chapter. My heart was still open. My heart was very much still open. The crazy thing is, even after talking to this man, my heart is still very much open. And it's crazy. I'm never going to deny the feelings I have for that man. I'm sorry. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to suppress those actual feelings that I possess. I flew all the way to London to surprise this man at his job, okay? Because I felt something in my gut that was like, you deserve happiness, T. And if this is what makes you happy, go out and find it. So, and even when he was here sitting on this very couch, it was, happiness is what I experienced. So, to be in a circumstance where you could be so high and then one day and the next day you're like, you feel like you're at rock bottom. That shit hurts. It hurts. How I'm deciding to move on from it was my first initial thought of emotional recovery, if you will, was to let him know how I felt. And then after, just continue being me and continuing to be open-minded about the process of love and what it may possibly have to offer. I think the most sucky part was that this was such a public thing because I expressed it to the world. So I had such a hard time recording this. I was like, oh my God. I do not want to come on camera and tell the world how I feel. But then I remember this is my diary and this is how I heal. And opening my computer is a ritual that I will never stop until... No, I would never stop it. I think, even when my many exciting blessings to come, I would always open my computer and just vent, whether it be good or bad. That first entry that I did about me exploring the possibility of something with a man, it meant a lot to me because I didn't know that I can feel that way again. My son's father took a toll on me mentally. It took a toll on me mentally. It really dragged me out of mentally. I think after losing the guy who passed away And then going through this with my son's father and now going through this with the guy from London, it's just like, damn, T. It's so many mixed emotions, but I know, like, I know I'm going to be fine. It's just, living through it is the most painful part. It was like 2 days after that I got the news that, from my girlfriend, that I was in my car and I was driving and my mind was everywhere but on the road. And I was like, okay. I had literally just came from court with my son's father. That was like a shit show. And then I had this situation on mind. And then I was exhausted because I was up all night working. I pulled over. I broke down. I cried. I screamed in my car all by myself. And then I called my aunt. And I asked her to just pray with me, and she did. And it was exactly what the doctor ordered at the moment. I want to come and tell you guys that I'm good. I'm not. I'm not okay. I'm hurt. I am going to be okay after I kind of weather this storm, but I'm hurt. I am. Because my feelings were real. My feelings were definitely real. And after speaking to him, I know that his feelings were real too. So where the miscommunication lied was honestly both of our fault. I need to learn how to make sure people know how I really feel. I told you guys, I didn't sit here and tell this guy I loved him because I didn't hear it. But I felt what I felt, you know what I mean? And I didn't, I just masked so much. I have become so good at mastering my poker face because it's my defense mechanism. But I can't do that if I want people to receive my real feelings. They're never going to know who the real Tanisha is if I'm telling them one thing and then putting on this facade another time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning throughout this. And I didn't think that I would be affected because I'm so used to having that poker face. But when I actually kind of let it go for a good 10 minutes, I was like, nah, this shit hurts. It hurts. So I felt though like this vlog was important, this diary entry was important because I recently got some messages from a few women actually that were going through their own journey and they sought advice from me. And I had to be honest with them and let them know it's not easy. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt and it's going to be lonely. But you'll get through it. You'll get through it. And me releasing this is kind of like me on my way of getting through it. So I want to thank you guys all for rocking out with me yet again another season. I can't say thank you enough. I really can't. I'm just beyond moved that you guys are still here watching and engaging and listening and receiving. It means a lot to me that I have the support of you guys. It does. And it doesn't go in vain at all. I want to wish you all the best on your own individual journeys as I'm taking my own. Because it's not easy. And it's something that nobody really talks about. But I decided to kind of like open the gate for that communication because we all go through it. We all go through it. So it's crazy. I feel like this experience has taught me to remain true to myself. That love is on its way and it'll come in due time. But also that I know what I want and I'm not settling for less. Like that experience that I shared with the guy from London was once in a lifetime experience and I don't regret anything. But it definitely set the bar for where I'm going. And I want somebody just as random and just as spontaneous and just as pure as I am. That was pretty ballsy of me to kind of make that move and go to London and shit. It was pretty ballsy of him to come here, but it's I want that reciprocated, and I want it reciprocated consistently, cause that's what I'm willing to do. That's what I'm willing to do. I think that this journey is preparing me for greater heights, and it's going to take me to plateaus that I've never seen before. And there are going to be lows on this journey, and this is a low. This right here is a moment of low. I'm looking forward to some of the higher moments. So I guess we'll see. I also feel like I'm deserving of that. I feel like I want what I give because I deserve that. And everything I'm willing to implement in a relationship is everything that I've learned over the years, communication and, you know, a balance of independence and submissiveness. It's a lot that you learn throughout life that you kind of have to absorb so you can put it towards your future. So I may have lost in this little situation, but I think the future is looking pretty bright, or at least I hope so. So we'll see, guys. I think the most important part is loving, laughing, living, and continuing to pray while you're on this journey. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So I am going to sign out. I have so much things to do. I gotta prepare for this brunch coming up. So I gotta get on that. This has been a phenomenal season, guys, and I look forward to season 3. Um, I look forward to season 3. So as always, guys, live, laugh, love, and pray.